last juice of the fall, isn't it?
Last juice of the fall. We had Devin, talk tonight. He was great. Mark awarded it to me. Pretty proud of that. We've been on the journey for a while. Some of his coaches here for the last 3 years, and to build to this point and to feel, a lot of confidence going into the season has been pretty fun.
Coach Ottawaya gave it to you?
Yeah, he did.
Interesting how that works.
He did.
Obviously, I think one of the top questions, the quarterback battle, and obviously you said look at the film, figure that out. Just on the surface, what did you kind of see from John and Zevi tonight?
I would say just as an offense in general, probably not our best night. I think one of those things when you go into a scrimmage, I don't love that you don't tackle, but we made a decision for our guys to make sure that we're healthy and ready to go. So, it feels like you're always going against the Georgia Bulldogs. Every tackle's always made, and you're always in long D&Ds, and no one ever just helps you out and makes a play. But, both of them turned the ball over tonight, especially in the red zone. We've been emphasizing that. So we'll kind of see what the tape says, but it's going to be a body of work all the way from the spring through now. We're going to make a really confident decision. I feel comfortable doing that, and those guys will lead our team to success.
And then the second cornerback spot, Ethan Jamori, do you kind of have a feel where that one may be leaning right now?
Well, it's hard. Jamori's been out kind of half the week, and he'll be back on Monday. We're going to need 3 corners. So those guys will be 3 starters to me. All guys playing major reps. Ethan continues to get better and better, and it's just the maturity of those moments, putting them out there. It's been really fun to see.
Mentioned Wason and Leo were looking kind of different the other day, but today Dylan gets the first carries or running back. Is there anything there? What do you see?
We'll use all 4 of those guys. I just think those 2 got a leg up a little bit on crafty running, but we need complete backs. We'll be a 4-headed monster at some point, and then whoever has the hot hand is going to be playing. And that'll sort out a little bit as the season goes, but that competition will be going as we keep going.
I think you shouted out Conor Calvert the other day as far as his kicking goes. Yeah. Is there much of a role for him, or what do you see in as far as his season goes?
Well, I think just like anything else, Dean did a good job at the end in some of those situations, making those field goals. Conor's been pushing them as far as a kind of walk-on freshman to have a guy that's been that consistent. It's been good. Dean will be the kicker. We're excited about that. But if we ever have to pivot, Conor will be right there, and Ryan's will be waiting.
The new rules, obviously you had a 2-minute warning, several of those, and the radios. How are those working, and how are the new rules going?
Well, we had the shutoff valve, today. So at 15 seconds, the green dot goes off. That was good to replicate. Everything else has been good. We didn't have the tablets tonight, but all that stuff's been really good.
And then Ethan O'Connor, just you touched on him, but just how great is it for you when you see those plays? Like, what's your reaction? What's going through your head when you see O'Connor?
I just love him being consistent. I think that's the biggest thing we ask for. Friday he comes out, gives up a couple big plays. Today, in the moment, bright lights, he's on his game, which is good to see. It's just being consistent in everything that we do that'll make him a tremendous football player.
And the Lentil Festival earlier today, you guys were out there. How fun was it to interact with the community and be out there?
It's always great. I tell our guys, you see those kids and they want those high fives. They just want to be you, to give back to the community, because I told them this morning in 2 weeks we want this community here, filling this stadium and make it an incredible environment. So giving back is always very important.
Do you think maybe the down by contact rules that we were playing with tonight might have led to Zevi and John maybe trying to force it because they felt like, hey, if I don't get it in the end zone, it ain't going to be a touchdown?
Yeah, and I never use that as an excuse, so whether it's 2nd and 9 or would have been 2nd and 5, you got to execute that new situation, that new play. But yeah, it's definitely challenging on a quarterback. We have a couple of linemen down. Those guys got to respond. There's going to be ebbs and flows, and I thought we at least finished well when we got to those time situations.
Just what do you think with the second scrimmage in the books is the biggest leap your team has made from the beginning of fall camp to now?
Well, I think our execution was a little better tonight, but, we're still not the team we need to be in 2 weeks to be successful. And, you know where I stand on that. We got to execute to win football games. We got to be tough to win football games. We got to run the football. We got to stop the run. We got to be explosive. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I feel really good tonight where we're at, where the health of the team is at, and I think we're going to be at full capacity pretty close on week 1.
When you have a scrimmage like this, how late do you stay in the office watching film? How many hours do you think you put into that before Monday when you have some decisions to make?
Well, I'll check it out tonight and take it with me, and then kind of just ponder it. Like I said, I told the guys, if you worked your tail off for 14 straight practices and brought it every day, tonight's easy. the guy that tried to turn it on and off and, thinking they could just, show up in the scrimmage days, those guys are going to struggle. But we'll watch it at every position. We got a ton of personnel meetings. The guys are off tomorrow. So just making some big decisions before we head into Monday.
How would you characterize this fall camp as opposed to the others that you've been a part of as the head coach
Well,
here?
I've learned a lot. I learned a lot. I think the first season, it was just press, and see who kind of made it through. I think, some of these night practices, the ebbs and flows, taking care of the guys, making sure we're at max capacity. I think put them in a ton of situations to see how they respond. I love camp. We talked about it as a staff today that I think we're in a really good place. So I think as a coach, that's exactly where you want to be.
When your defense isn't tackling, how can they accomplish goals that you want them to do?
Yeah.
Is it just being in the right spot, or is there
It's
something
tough.
else?
It's still alignment assignment. It's still physicality through the finish. We'll do some isolated tackling stuff for the defense kind of over the next couple weeks. But not putting those guys in harm's way and getting rolled up on, I think was the right call at this moment. So it's executing calls, it's putting them in pressure, it's seeing fourth downs, tempo stuff. So just kind of putting them on their heels, getting them tired. I think we had a couple long drives, 12-play drive, 14-play drive, getting them tired and see who can respond and still execute in those moments. All right, guys, go Cougs.